Hey, and welcome to my live stream. Now, today we've got a special edition. We've got Street Fighter, the 30th anniversary collection to live stream to you today. This game came out yesterday, May 29th, and although it's a new game, it brings back a lot of memories. Now, what I do on this channel is do a live review and play, a live play, so it should be fun. Now, I'm going to go through several features of this game and then basically gameplay, and then of course you guys can watch and stream. Now, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and hit that like button. That does me a world of wonders. So Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection. Now, the original Street Fighter came out, I believe, in 1987, and this game just came out. Now, you've got part of the screen right here cut off, and that's because to fit me here and to fit the game, I had to cut off a little bit because it's 16 by 9 and then I'd be blocked off completely. But you still get the gist of the game, so don't worry about that. So what I normally do in my reviews is basically I'll play the game and I'll break it down into 4 categories. Is it difficulty appropriate? Did I find it fun today? Were graphics impressive for the time when all of these came out between 1987 and 1999? And do they still hold up today? And then I grade it from 0 being worst, 20 being best, 0 to 20, and then I categorize it by that. But normally when I play until I get a game over. However, I'm going to do a little bit different because this is a modern game, and if I just play till I get game over, I might have like 2 matches and then this live stream's over in minutes, and I definitely don't want that. Welcome to all those that joined the live stream right now, but let's get right into it and dive into the menu. Okay, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. We've got a couple of options. Offline, online, museum, and then options. Now, if you look at the options, this game is pretty bare bones. You could adjust your controls, you can look at the credits, and then adjust the language right from this menu, but then there are additional options when you jump in. Now, I'm going to go right into offline mode. Though this game, I'm gonna do a little different here, but you've got 3 different modes once you're in offline mode: arcade, versus, and training. So training is pretty basic. I haven't tried training yet, nor have I done versus. I haven't played this game with anyone yet, but we're gonna jump right into arcade. Now, when you jump into arcade, it gives you a choice of 1 of 12 Street Fighter games, starting from the original Street Fighter all the way to Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, which was released in 1999, versus the original Street Fighter, which was released in 1987. Now, an interesting fact about this menu, each one of these games have a different options. If you press the square button, for example, on the PlayStation, you get an option specifically for this game. So game difficulty, and that's it. The way that they did this is that they used the original ROMs that were released when the arcade versions were released, and let you just adjust really the difficulty in some minor settings. Like, for example, I believe you could adjust the speed, if I'm not mistaken, in one of these. Maybe Street Fighter 2 or Champion Edition. No? Super Street Fighter. There you go. You could adjust the speed in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. But these are really much arcade emulations to perfection. You've got pretty much no load times in this game, which is amazing. And if you know anything about these games, you know that at least with the Street Fighter 2 series, and then the Alpha series, and then Street Fighter 3 series, you have slight tweaks and adjustments that happen with each iteration, which made slightly better year over year. And you can see what improvements they made if you actually hit the game info button, which in the PlayStation 4 case is this triangle. So it gives you a little bit of history, which is pretty interesting, and it tells you what the graphical changes are and some minor gameplay changes. Then it gives you some trivia about the games when they were released. Like, for example, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, when it was released in Japan, according to what this says, it was called Street Fighter 2 Dash Champion Edition, because if you notice, there's a little like apostrophe after the 2, and that apostrophe is actually said out loud in Japan. So you'd actually say Street Fighter 2 Dash, and that's what makes it pretty interesting, is that fact, you know, the difference between local and far away. So you could check out all the individual tips and tricks. I'm not going to avoid spoil it for you, basically, so I'm just gonna get right to it. Welcome again all those that have joined, but what I'm going to do this time is actually I'm going to play the arcade mode online. And besides the arcade mode, online and offline, you also got Museum, which brings a ton of like artwork and pretty much early sketches from each of the games, and you can actually check out specific animations of each of the characters from each of the different games, which is pretty cool that they threw that in there. But you gotta think that they had to, because this game is just an emulator for all 12 versions, and you could just play. So I'm gonna go into online mode, and I'm going to play the online arcade. Now, if you played this game ever in the arcade, you know that you would put in that quarter and you'd start playing, but at any moment someone could come, pop in a quarter and challenge you, and if they beat you, they get to continue your game while you had to walk away in shame with your head held down. But that's what I'm going to do today, except I'm not going to walk away in shame. I'm going to play online arcade, play the normal game, and then if someone interrupts and challenges, well, then we're going to have a classic Street Fighter match. Now, when you play online, it limits you to only 4 of the games. You've got Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 3, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Now, I'm kind of a very old school guy, so I'm actually going to go for Street Fighter 2 Hyper Edition, because I like playing that game. So, as you can see, it said free play, and then right when I popped it in, it says free play on the top corner. And it's pretty much arcade perfect. You're not even going to see any load times. If I hold the button here, it goes right into the match. So here we go. E Honda's my first guy. Now I picked Vega because Vega is someone who I tend to gravitate towards in online matches. Not so much in gameplay, but online matches. He's quicker than basically everybody who I face. But already I'm doing a horrible job losing. Now I can be distracted because I'm actually talking to you guys. So I'm going to put all the blame on you if I lose and say it's your fault. Even though he's the first guy that I'm facing. And he's done. Is he done? Here we go. Okay. Okay, I thought I was going to lose that, but it's not good if I'm going to actually be interrupted and have an online match and I lose to the computer first match. But this game I wasn't much of a player of this game online. I mean, at least when it was released to the Genesis or even in the arcade, I really didn't find this game. This game was actually released, from what I've heard, because after Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition was released in the arcades, there were hackers that actually went into the arcade board and actually switched up the code to make certain moves exaggerated. Like you could throw 1,000 fireballs at a character when naturally that threw off the balance of the game. So Capcom decided, you know what, let's actually do that ourselves, but actually keep the game pretty balanced. And that's what they did. They balanced up the game almost to a point of perfection where no one has an advantage over everyone else, even if you're a boss, which that was not the case in Champion Edition. In Champion Edition, the bosses were actually pretty powerful and can pretty much beat anybody up. Like I'm getting beaten up right now. And I lost. I've noticed too that when I play this game and I'm really sweating, I'm intense, my face gets like, and I stay quiet. My mouth will stay open. I'll be like, oh, I gotta win. But because I'm playing the PC or just the game engine, I'm not too stressing. It's usually when I get someone to challenge me, and I know it's a real person challenging me, I freak out at all types of levels. And he's beating me again. What the? Go ahead. There you go. I got that taken care of. But I'm waiting for an online challenge. Now, since I'm online right now, I could be interrupted at any time. Probably when I finish the match or even during the match, and they'll say, here comes a new challenger. I've played already online this game for a couple of matches, and when it comes to ranking play, I'm undefeated. But then I started playing arcade mode and pretty much started playing unranked, and then I lost. I lost pretty bad. So okay, and I lose. I lost now, but like I said, I'm not going to quit that easily. I'm gonna keep on playing. I want to see if someone actually challenges me to an online match, because that's where it counts. But I switched up my guy to Ken, because even though I like Vega for online matches, I'm dependent on Ken for actual gameplay. So after this game was released, the actual hyper fighting, in 1993 you had Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which changed the gameplay by adding 4 new characters and actually exaggerating some of the differences between characters like Ryu and Ken. For example, if I do a rising uppercut or a shoryuken with Ken, he'll actually move forward a little bit, whereas Ryu will just kind of punch straight up in the air. In Super Street Fighter 2, they enhanced that even further by adding fire to his fist. And here comes a new challenger. Like I said, that was pretty much unexpected. Wicco VL, and of course he challenges me while I have Ken. I wanted to switch my character. Oh, looks like I can't switch my character. I did not expect that. So I'm gonna go back to Vega and see what happens now. Now, when fighting somebody online, it's always a guess as to how well I'm gonna do. Now, I'll tell you this much: the lag is pretty bad. I am not even kidding you. I'm pressing a button and then it responds like a minute later. And I am probably going to lose this match, which is fine. Again, it's laggy, and what I expected is some skipped frames while being this laggy, but it's not skipping any frames. It's actually going what I think is pretty smooth, although you could hear me mashing the buttons here. And I just beat him around. You saw how I got focused. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna beat him. Playing guys online, that has to be one of the most exciting facts of this game. Like, playing people online in a Street Fighter is the way kind of Street Fighter was meant to be played. It really was. There, smash them a little bit. And I got him nervous, but I beat him. Now, from here, when the match is over, he can challenge me again, but I don't have to accept, which is different from the arcade, because in the arcade, you have to accept. I'll accept if he challenges me back. So, he accepted. Well, what do you know? I'm gonna go for Blanca. He can go for Guile. See, this part is fun. I like playing the arcade, but when you fight somebody online, it's a lot more fun. I guess he was deciding whether he should play with Blanca or not. Blanca versus Blanca in the arcade. I think I'll have fun with it. I don't have to stress this too much. Now I'm the blue and gold one. He's the original green one. Wow. Looks like he lost. That was fun. Again, he's not bad. He's a good player. It's a challenge. This is what I like. I like playing this game to where someone makes it fun and doesn't do the repetitive same things over again, and then just and it just is impossible to beat. Now he's not doing bad at all. At all, actually. I'm quite entertained by his usage. He's probably gonna win this round. And he won, but barely. He barely won. He's probably happy as can be when he won that match. But go ahead. Come on, you can do better than that. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. He loves that electricity. You cannot put up with that much longer. And you're done. And he lost. I hit him with his own electricity trick, which is what he wanted. So I beat him twice. That was fun. 5 wins and he's got 1 win. I'm kind of done with him. And then the game kind of returns you back to the arcade. And I was playing as Ken, so I guess it puts me back as Ken, which is fine. That's the first time that I switch characters when someone challenges me. And it's weird, I'm actually fighting the Blanca I was playing as. See, you know, when I play the computer, I lose it. I'm like, what's going on? But then I play someone human. When you play someone human, it switches the response to it. So now, while playing this game, I'm going to tell you my opinion of the graphics. Now, the graphics, Capcom has done some adjustments to these actual graphics. If you've ever played Street Fighter 2, like the HD edition, you'd know that they actually updated these graphics to make them a lot better. Oh, and he beats me. See, I could beat a person, but I can't beat the actual computer. So Capcom updated these graphics to make them look a lot better, but they chose not to do that for this collection. I guess because they wanted to keep it authentic to the actual arcade and actually give you that experience, which I prefer, because although I do like the HD collection, it doesn't give you that nostalgic feel. It's more of a modern twist feel, which is not the point of this collection. I mean, these games are presented including their flaws. And I am getting destroyed. This game was pretty good in the arcade, but in the arcade when I used to play as a kid, I could finish the entire game in 1/4, pretty much one sitting. So I'd be there for like 20 minutes, and the pizzeria owner would be like, "What the hell? How many times are you playing that damn game?" And I'm like, "It was only 1/4." He's like, "Did you break it?" I'm like, "No, I'm just that good." So, interesting story. I was one of a few of us who liked to play this game, and my cousin Oliver, he was pretty good at this game as well. Not this one in particular, but it was a Champion Edition, the one before this. I believe he actually picked Ken, and he was challenged to beat the game, not just with 1/4, but beat it without losing a single round. And he said, "I'm gonna do it." And he did it. He actually finished the game, and the pizzeria owner said, "If you finish it," now we were young kids at the time, he said, "If you finish it, I will give you $1. So he said, "I'll take you up on that bet." So he had a quarter in his pocket. He finished the game, didn't lose a round, and the pizzeria owner had to give him a whole $1, which was interesting. See, we had arcades near us, but the closest place where this game was held was at an arcade that was a block from where I lived, and that was the stopping grounds for many kids. So we were lucky enough to have Street Fighter 2 and then Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition right next to it. And the owner set so that you could play Street Fighter 2 and actually have 2 credits with 1 quarter. So I would practice there and get better there. And then Champion Edition, it might have launched with 50 cents to play once, but then it was dropped to a quarter, so it was like, you know, a little bit more expensive, but it was an enhanced experience. And it was like, that's where the big boys play, basically. So if you're a champion in this game, you play Champion Edition. And eventually I got good enough to play there, but I'm not good enough to play today for whatever reason. Guile sucks. I'm saying it right now. Guile sucks. Look at that sucker. See, I will just do shoryukens and he'll beat my ass. Alright, maybe Guile's not that bad. Oh man, maybe Guile's really... Guile beat me. So for all of you Guile fans, he still sucks, but he beat me. I'll take him up again. What's a little bit confusing too is that I'm using a PS4, obviously. I'm playing it. So when you press the let me move this here. When you press the start button, or not that, but the options button, that's what I would think would be used to actually start, but it actually brings you up to this pause menu where you can switch some of the settings like the controls, you can look at special moves, or you can put different filters on it like arcade, TV, and it gives you kind of scan lines. Or I could widen it, put it full so it's just that, or I just put it as original, and original puts that whole arcade filter on it. Actually, no filter, put original, turn this off. But anyway, and then if you want to pause it, you actually press this touchpad right here. Oh, looks like I got a new challenger. I did not expect that. Considerable bulk. Okay, considerable bulk. Let's see what you've got. Let's see if you... Oh, he's using Ken. They always default to Ken and Ryu. I haven't used them yet. That's fine. Uh-oh. Am I facing a kid who doesn't know how to play this game? Come on, give me some sort of challenge. Yes. Yes. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Aw, you almost beat me. Actually, I was pretty close, but it's only because I kind of gave it to you for a little while there. Again, this is the most exciting part of this game, is to play people online. Oops. I actually hit my PlayStation menu there. That was a little devastating. I'm actually having fun with this guy. He wasn't as bad as I thought he would be. He had some combos. The lag with this one is not too bad. It's still kind of bad, but... Oh, come on, you had me. The matches were close. I'm done. I'm not gonna waste my time with this guy anymore. I'm pretty much done. No thanks. I want to get back to my game. Returning back to the arcade. You lost. It was fun, but at least I get another chance at Guile. See, the computer beat the tar out of me. But online, I'm not that bad online. Like I said, Vega, hit up Vega. Vega's quick, and he could just kind of when the other guys are open for hits because they're slower than him, Vega's just, he'll do a move and then he's like, boom, 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 hit you, hit you, hit you, hit you. He's got no fireballs to speak of, but he doesn't need them. Oh, come on. He didn't even charge up that move. Stop it, Guile. Guile sucks. Come on. Nope. I beat Guile. So, anyway, what else? What other facts can I throw in? Alright, so Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. That is an excellently balanced game. That came out after Super Street Fighter 2 in 1994. And that game came out with a couple of features that were interesting. One of which was the introduction of super moves. When you charge up enough specials, enough moves, it has a little super item in the bottom, and then it lets you do special super moves that do ultra combos and take out a lot of massive damage to your enemies, while Guile is being annoying. Damn you, Guile! I'm not even paying attention to him. Alright, so Guile beat me, but what happens when you actually do these supers is, you know, if you do it at the end of the match, it can give you like a special splash screen, which is nice. Okay, Guile, it's you and me. You're making me pretty angry. Very, very angry. I guess that's what I get for insulting you for so many years. Let's go, Guile. Let's go, Guile. Let's go. Let's go. You're not getting away that easy. Come on, Guile. Let's go, Guile. Let's go. Oh my gosh. You're done. You're done. Get out of my face. I had to focus. He still sucks, but I had to focus. Because he's quick too. He's quick. He's got that similarity with Vega. He could just go. So in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, it was also the introduction of Akuma, which is a secret hidden character. And not only can you fight him, but you can play as him. And when you play as him, if you were ever in a tournament game, they won't let you play as Akuma because he's got a high advantage over most opponents. So they're like, no, you can't use him. You can use anyone else but Akuma. But fighting Akuma is even worse because he's like much more enhanced than anyone else. And that enhanced version of him is pretty messed up because that enhanced version of him lets him throw multiple fireballs. He's unbelievably fast. He doesn't let you get a hit in. It's just completely unfair. Okay. Alright. I was not paying attention there again, and this is what happens when I don't pay attention. It seems like my splash screen on the side kind of went away, didn't it? I guess I have to deal with that. It's because of the compression. Believe it or not, I'm streaming this off of remote play, off the PS4. So I'm on my computer, but using remote play so that you guys can see my screen and I don't have to connect my PS4, which is in the other room, to my computer. I just remote play is fine to stream this on my desktop. And hello, Ken. Who gave you the caffeine this morning? You are on an accelerated level. Calm down, slow down, sir. It's not that important. We're just fighting each other in the streets. Streets don't go like this. I might as well have lost this match. Oof. And here comes a new challenger before I get game over. Now who is this? Known to own. Ooh, I might have to be scared of this one. I'm gonna switch it up to Blanca again. Like I said, Blanca is one of my safety characters. Besides Vega. Known to own is going to own me. Which he can own me if he wants. I'm gonna be focused on this because I want to own known to own just for those purposes. Come on, known to own. Own me. Ah, there he goes. There was a trick that I hated in the arcades that they would get you to block, and then when you're blocking, they would just grab you. Ah, he got me. He didn't own me, but he got me. If he beats me, I'll let him have the victory and I'll go away. Because he's a little bit laggy. Which is causing me. Holy cow. Did he own me? He owned me this round. Ah. The lag was a little bit too slow, but it's my fault. I respectfully lost. Good match, known to own. Good match. Nah, I don't want to fight him anymore. Returning back to the arcade, where I get another chance at Ken because I didn't lose my chance there. This would not happen in the arcade. If this was the arcade, I definitely would have. I would have basically lost. It would have been. I had to walk away, quarter in pocket, all in shame. Not fun. After this match with Ken, I'm going to switch it up so you can see what the other games look like. Something a little bit more enhanced instead of the early 90s. And then we'll see if anyone challenges me in the arcade there, have a couple matches, and then we'll call it a day and I'll get to my review. I've been going for pretty much almost 30 minutes and I can barely get past these guys. Which, this game I could honestly say will pretty much put the hurting on you. Especially if you're not, I mean, if you're a younger gamer and unfamiliar with this and you're familiar with like only like Street Fighter 4 or Street Fighter 5, you better be prepared for quicker response time on controls, faster characters that really react to a split second to what you do. This is not meant for those who are not experienced with quick response time with their games. I mean, this is like you flinch and someone could just put the hurting on you instantly. Alright, I'm gonna call it game over for Ken because Ken is better than Guile, so Ken is destroying me compared to Guile. And this goes out to you, Mr. Copen. Ken is better than Guile, if you were watching. So, moving on to the next game. To exit a game, I'm going to hit this options menu and go to quit game. So, if you notice, boom, hits me right onto this menu. And then, boom, hits me, could pick the next game. And then, boom, loads up the next game almost instantly. Almost instantly. So, it's pretty quick. Like no load times. So I'm gonna hit the button and get right into third strike. And I'm going to choose Ryu. Shinshuryuken. So in this game, this is like the last game in this whole series. So I picked one of the first ones, which was Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, because that's the only one that let you play online. Now this one was the last one, released in 1999, before the game actually went to 3D. Now you can tell, just by looking at it, the enhancements. It's a bit slower, but the animations on this are sick. Now you've got the super buttons on the bottom, the super gauges on the bottom, so I know when I can actually do a super. I've got the names, I've got some blocking limits on the top. So those blocking limits on the top, which you can see right. I was actually gonna point to the screen, but right in that direction. If you're a person who blocks way too much, you'd actually get punished for that. So I'm gonna try a super move on him. Ah, I missed. Now, one of the enhancements that they did that I actually liked was the fact that in order to grapple your opponent, in the Street Fighter 2 series, all you had to do was just stand close to your target and then just press one of the hard or medium punch or kick buttons, and then it would just grab them and throw them. In this game, you have to intentionally press 2 buttons at the same time, which is your low kick and punch button at the same time, to grab them, which lets you control when you actually fight an opponent instead of just basically randomly doing that. So right now I'm waiting for an online match, just like before, and see if I can get it. Now I'm not as good in this game as I am in the older games because they slowed it down a bit and they added so much to the gameplay. A lot of depth, like parrying, and there was no way I was able to control my level of parrying when this game came out. I can't, but you can use parrying to pretty much block everybody's moves, but you have to be so precise when it comes to parrying. Now parrying you do by pressing, alright guy, by pressing forward towards the guy when he actually tries to strike, and then what you'll do is you'll just parry. You won't even get hit, and you can actually counter even super moves like that. Look up a match between Chun-Li and I believe it was Ken or Ryu, and it was like, look it up, and it was like comeback. So put Street Fighter 3 Third Strike amazing comeback, and watch what happens at the end of that match with and you'll see how parrying works and the fact that you could actually come back from behind with that tactic. It's a pretty amazing video. I actually watched it today because I was like, there's no way I could do that. See, I just parried. That's actually how I just finished the match. He parried for a quick second one of his moves, and that was just pure luck because I was looking to strike him. I couldn't pull off a super once, not a single time. I actually had this game for Dreamcast when it came out in 2000 or 2001. It came out for Dreamcast, and it was a pretty authentic port. It didn't miss a single animation. It was on point. So that's how I learned to play this game. I actually didn't play it much in the arcades because by the time it was released, I mean, Capcom took their sweet time between sequels. So by the time Street Fighter 3 was released, arcades barely mattered. You had perfect arcade ports at home. So once this game came out, within a couple months, you had it at home, and you didn't have to spend any money at the arcade at all. And I missed the super yet again. I'm trying to do combos here. Now, combo has an interesting origin as well. So many games that you play, different fighting games, have combo systems. Now, I would credit Street Fighter 2 as the originators of combos. And the way combos worked, there was actually a glitch. Uh-oh, I'm getting a challenger. I'll get to the story. So the fact is that you can cut an animation to hit an opponent again without blocking is considered a serious glitch. That's not the move I wanted to do, but looks like we're both Ryu. I'm gonna get the tar beaten out of me. I guarantee that. I'm the one with the white gi, and he's the one without the white gi. Uh-oh. I hit that menu and I screwed up. Dang. Nice. And I finished him off. I thought I was actually gonna lose. I was focused on that because I'm like, do I have a chance of winning? And I actually won. So far, defeated once online with hyper fighting, but this guy's gonna beat the tar out of me. I already see him. The way he moves, he knows how to play this game. I am an old school fighter, so I'll play this game like I play Street Fighter 2, not knowing the moves. Okay, dude, can you do something? And it's over. First match of this game, and I actually won, so you guys witnessed it. I'm not that good. I really am not. If you're watching me play, I'm just honestly getting lucky. No, I don't want to fight you again. I'm going to have one more fight, and then I'm going to call it a game and just hit the reviews. But this has been fun so far. I can honestly say this game is at its most exciting when you're... And I thought I beat her. That's annoying. You could be pretty much done with a match, and then someone interrupts you. You gotta do the match all over again. So if you're playing this game just to beat it and you don't want to fight others, then do not put arcade mode online, because then you will just be pretty irritated with the fact that you're almost done. You might be fighting the boss, finally you're about to beat him, and then you get challenged, and then you have to start over, which is not fun. But it's interesting that no matter what version you're playing, once they interrupt you, you could pick anyone you want. But when the game comes back, win or lose, you're back to the original guy you picked, and with the original supers, or in the other ones, just the original colors and everything like that. Interesting thing though, in the arcade, you could not do that. Somebody challenged you, you had to stick with whoever you were playing with, which was not fun. I mean, it was fun, especially if you're picking somebody you know how to use, but the fact that they let you re-pick someone else is pretty good. I did another parry there. I didn't even know how I did that. So, alright, I beat her. I don't even know their names pretty much from this version. Again, I'm real old school and classic. So I'm going to exit out of here. Oops, why am I turning that off? Okay. Quick game. Yes. Now, back in the main menu, these are all the options. You've got online, ranked, casual, create lobby, join lobby. It's very bare bones and basic. This game doesn't have a lot of trophies either. I played online one match and then I got a trophy, but then you saw all those other matches that I played and it didn't have anything interesting there. Offline mode is fun, and the fact that you can play all of them is much better than limiting yourself to just arcade mode online. So all in all, I'm going to review this based off of the experiences that I played. Actually, before I do that, to close this off, the original Street Fighter, in case none of you have ever seen it, here it is. This is the menu, 1987, original Street Fighter. You could not choose or pick a character. It just had to be, if you're player 1, you're Ryu, if you're player 2, you're Ken. And then it kind of looked like this. I'm Ryu versus Joe. Ryu had red hair. Doing a special move or anything, I'm just going to have one match. You're just going to see how it looks like. Look at how broken it is. That fireball was next to impossible to do. That Shoryuken, next to impossible to do. But it takes out so much energy. They did that on purpose. It was still a 6-button game, but very bare bones. This is 1987, and obviously animations and special moves have improved a ton. They at least had intros before you started the match, which I thought was interesting. But no timer. Look, match is over. I hit him, what, 3 times? And it's over. Ryu won the second round. Very bare bones. And a lot of characters from here, they actually ported to the Street Fighter officers. One string, but don't forget there are many fighters like you all over the world. So, and Mike, if you look at Mike from this, he actually was like an early version of Ballroom. Like, backgrounds existed, music was pretty general, slowdown was inherent, Controls stunk. I mean, I've done like probably 50 fireballs and only like one came out. So you really can't control what happens there. But I'm going to quit. You guys get the basic point of it. So all in all, this game, because I'm nostalgic and I like old games, this game is pretty good. But now let's go through the 4 review points. Like I said, it's going to be 20 is the top score that you can get. Let's start off with, is the difficulty appropriate? I'd say, whether new or classic, I'd say the difficulty is a little too difficult, more than it should be. It'll train you really well on playing this game, and you could adjust difficulty, but if you just start it up, it's pretty tough. I mean, I'm pretty good at this game, and I always get my butt handed to me by the PC, yet kids online were easier than the PC was. I mean, every match I had online was close. So I'd actually give it, out of 5, I'd give it a 3 out of 5. So actually, let me write these scores down, because what I tend to do is forget what I score, and then I can't even do the math. So they got 3 points for it's the difficulty appropriate out of 5. Alright, so do I find it fun today? Yes. I would give it a 4 out of 5, because although it's fun, especially online matches and then being able to play everything, it's because I'm nostalgic, and it's, you know, and the online features is pretty fun. I love playing people online when it comes to fighting games. However, it suffers for the fact is that it's very bare bones. It's just pure emulation, no real added features besides that slight training, and it's basic. So, but still a high 4. So, are the graphics impressive for the time? I would say a 5 for the graphics for the time, because when each of those fighting games came out, the animations, even the original Street Fighter, the animations, the character sprites were very large, and they were very fluid. And then by the time Street Fighter 3 Third Strike came out, the animations were top notch. You didn't have high definition screens at the time too, but the animations were top notch and the fighting was tight. So 5 for graphics back then. And now finally, do they stand up today? I'd say depends on what you're playing. The original Street Fighter doesn't, but Street Fighter 3 Third Strike almost does, except for the fact that it's low res. Now, when these games came out for PS3 or PS4, I believe they did Third Strike, and they actually had enhanced graphics to play it. But they added filters where it actually made the graphics look a bit better. They didn't add those filters in this version. I can tell that it was basic, either scan lines or the basic graphical version. So I'd say currently it's a 3. So 3, 4, 5, 3. So 0 out of 20. Let's see, 9, 12, 15 points. So 15 points puts it in the rank on play it if you like video games. I think for $40 for 12 games of Street Fighter, this is a great purchase. I would definitely recommend it. I'm going to have fun playing this online, and actually this is going to be one of the few games I enjoy playing online. If you want to find me, I'm Magnus547, so if we actually challenge each other, it'll be pretty fun. So thank you guys. You can make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus. I'm out. Hope you enjoyed the live stream, and I'll see you guys next time with perhaps something a little bit more classic.